Hey guys, what's going on? Laxed Gamer here, and today I have a walkthrough or tutorial for the boss fight in the King's Fall raid Golgeroth. This fight is an absolute bitch, okay? I'm not gonna lie. If you don't have high damage weapons like high impact snipers or fully auto shotties, you're not going to do it. I'm just going to say that right now. Just level up and get a good gun. Get 1,000 Yard Stare. That's a great gun. Black Spindle. That's a great gun for this. You know, you want something though that's high impact and is a sniper. So that's just a warning. Now this boss fight is basically broken down into two sections again. The first part is to kill the ads. There are going to be yellow bar adepts, and you are going to have to kill these enemies. And once you kill all of them, enemies are not going to spawn till you get past the damage stage. But for now, we're just going to focus on that. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need about 3 and 3 on each side, killing the ads. Now, basically, it's not too difficult. Just on the left side, it is a bit more difficult because Golgeroth can shoot you. But basically, you're going to see the yellow bars, and when you see them, you have to kill them. They're not too much stronger, and like I said, once you kill all the yellow bars, just clear out all the ads, and you are basically done with the ad portion. Now, getting on to the Golgeroth fight itself, the nice thing about it, for the majority of this damage portion, there's only Cursed Thrall, so, you know, one person can just watch out for those who maybe doesn't have the best sniper or shotgun or something like that. That's my recommendation. But as you can see, I'm using Jade Rabbit with weapons, and it's still doing really good. So this boss fight, it has a 4 and 2 system, 2 distractors, and 4 damagers. Right here, I'm playing as a damager. Now, your job as a damager is to walk around destroying those orb bubble things, and they will drop this goo. And the goo, once you get in the puddle, it will give you a ×10 multiplier against that boss. So it's really good. It's basically the only way to damage him effectively. When you do that, he's gonna eat up a lot, though. You know, don't be surprised if you're only taking a third per set, right? It's very difficult, and you have to aim for the body. As you can see, my 1,000-Yard Stare without weapons is doing about 60, and this was one of my, I think, 296, or no, 295. This is where I got my first piece of raid gear, which was the chest piece. This actually gives you really good loot. My friend got boots. Actually, I think almost everyone got a piece of raid gear, so that's upside. But as you can see right there, 60,000 each shot. Really good for how low of a level I was. Now, like I said, it's a 4 and 2, so there's 4 damagers. The other 2 players are called distractors. What they do is, when you shoot Golgeroth in the back, he will focus his rage on you. Don't shoot him in the back until you've killed all the adepts and there's no more enemies, or else it's a wipe. Okay? Now, when you funnel his rage, or whatever, you're going to get a 15-second timer. Okay? You're just going to have to survive it, and he's going to shoot this Void Venom, and it's basically the exact same attack as Taken Centurions, right? It just tracks you, and there's going to be a lot of them, but that's the only thing you have to worry about. No ads, no nothing. You just have to focus on those. That's your major concern, okay? Now, once you're about at 5, you should start counting down. Now, there's going to be 2 damagers, one on the left platform and one on the right. And they're going to be shooting him in the back and trading off at about 5, right? And this is how it's going to work. So as you can see, someone focused his rage. I had to kill the last adept because they weren't all downed, and that's a very important part, because you don't want enemies spawning in while you're focusing his rage, I mean, right? But as you can see, they call it out, at about 2 or 3 seconds, they're gonna switch. They were getting a bit cheeky there and getting it to like 1 second, and I was a bit afraid. But it's basically that. It's relatively straightforward. However, few things. Don't be like me and not go in the pool much. And another thing, if you have one not so great player, like with a not a good sniper or shotgun, I'd recommend just putting him on the bubble and ad duty, because at the end it is kind of nice, and you could probably actually get more damage if you had him downing the bubbles the second he switches his gaze, as opposed to, all the damagers then shooting the bubble, right? It just work out a bit better. But you're gonna want weapons of light, ideally, if you're a Titan. Night Stalker, if you are a hunter, and I'd say either self-res or Stormcaller as a warlock. Obviously, self-res is pretty self-explanatory, but Stormcaller does actually really good DPS, and as you can see, you're just going to switch between these. You're going to go right side, left side, right side, left side. And when you're a distractor, you're going to have to go to where generally the bubble and Golgeroth are. So, right here, they're going to get and make it a line, right? So that he's looking at the distractor, but we can actually shoot his chest, because he'll look directly at that distractor. As you can see though, if you don't switch it, he will, just rage, I guess. I don't really understand what that is, but he will just stop focusing on that player and just focus on killing. Again, the third round is taken just like the War Priest. This is actually a lot like the War Priest. But one very important thing, you can only have 6 players die. Or 5, I should say. Once your 6th player dies, you're done. Call it a day. Wipe. Okay. Basically, it's a forced wipe with 6 deaths, so you really have to watch out. But generally, this fight is very straightforward. We were all underleveled because this was day 1, right, that we were doing this. It is relatively difficult, but now, with like 290, 295, it's a walk in the park. Easy 3 downs. I fuck up here. I'm saying it's my bad. I shot the wrong bubble, and it was the last bubble, so then we had to we didn't have time to kill ads, so all that we did was we refocused his rage once the bubble spawned back in, because it was enraged, or near enraged. And the cool thing about this boss fight, once he enrages, it's not just done. Your screen will start darkening, and you'll see that it's happening, and relatively disturbing when that's happening, but you don't really have to worry too much. So as you can see, he is a bullet sponge. Basically all we're doing is damaging him, and he's taking a beating. He's probably one of the strongest bosses I've ever seen just for damage. Look at that. I was doing almost 75,000 damage per shot with my sniper, and I was pretty amazed. As you can see though, we take, I believe, the wrong bubble here, or yeah, right there we have 2 bubbles, I think. Yeah, something like that. Something fucked up. I think we took 2 bubbles, and yeah, so this is how you have to adapt in boss fights. If this does happen to you, don't just wipe, right? We were all underleveled for this, or at least I'd say we were underleveled, right? And as you can see, he is at such low health, but we couldn't do any damage to him. There was no orb, so all you can really do at that point, because you're only doing 1/10 of the damage, you pretty much just have to wait for the orbs to reset and try to damage him. You can damage him. Obviously, that frickin' rocket launcher was just pro plays right there, but this is something very important with this boss fight in particular. You gotta push through it. You cannot just wipe at any given moment. So as you can see, the orbs are gonna spawn. That was basically the general idea. I'm just gonna break down this and kind of give you some tips. This is, the first little bit of this raid being out. Don't just give up on your first try. I hate those players that do that. Don't. Right? As you're gonna see, we just are like, okay, we're gonna need to damage this fucker. His enrage is near. We're done. So the distractors go. Our boys did a great job clearing out most of the ads, I think, if not all. And we just focus his rage. Boom. We have to go. I'm already there posting up with my sniper, and see he's enraged. So we're just damaging him at this point, and as you can see, we down him pretty easily. And this boss fight is a struggle, but the rewards are definitely worth it. I think, like I said, everyone got really good raid gear. I got 305 chest piece, and as you can see, or was it 309? It was something awesome, but for my Titan, I was just hyped. It's a good rewards. It's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. As you can see, we were 292, my bad, but definitely doable at 290. If you found this useful, please do drop a like and subscribe. This has been Lax Gamer, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.